Ollie dove into the river, his paws batting at a sun-drenched ripple. He paused, whiskers twitching, as he spotted a glass bottle bobbing against a clump of reeds. He paddled over, hooked the neck with his claw, and hauled the heavy object onto the mudbank. Inside, a rolled parchment pressed against the glass. He tugged at the cork, but it held fast. Frustrated, he hoisted the bottle high and smashed it against a flat rock. The glass shattered into fragments. Ollie picked through the shards, carefully uncurled the damp paper, and traced the ink line to a bold red X. Just then, Bella waddled onto the bank, her tail slapping the wet earth. She leaned over, tapped the map with a muddy paw, and looked toward the dense woods. The message was clear. They did not hesitate. Together, they turned away from the river and sprinted toward the wildflower meadow, their legs kicking up grass and soil as they began their search for the marked location. The sprint ended abruptly at a roaring stream. White water churned over jagged rocks, blocking their path. Ollie paced the bank, his tail twitching as he measured the distance. Bella did not wait. She dove into the brush, dragging 3 heavy, thick branches toward the silt. She shoved the logs into the mud, locking them against the current. The water slammed into the wood, threatening to tear it away. Ollie plunged into the shallows, ignoring the freezing spray. He grabbed heavy river stones, piling them against the base of the branches to anchor them against the force of the flow. The stream fought back, spraying mud and foam into the air. They climbed onto the makeshift bridge. It groaned under their weight, vibrating as the current tore at the submerged logs. Each step was a gamble. Ollie pushed Bella forward, his paws gripping the wet bark. They scrambled toward the far bank, their balance shifting with every surge of the water. Just as their feet hit the solid earth, the bridge gave a final, splintering snap and vanished into the white foam. They stood panting, safe on the other side, as the river continued its relentless rush. The path led deeper into the woods until a frantic, high-pitched peeping cut through the rustle of the leaves. Ollie and Bella stopped, ears swiveling toward the sound. Behind a thick wall of thorny, interlocking brambles, a family of ducklings huddled, their movements panicked. The thorns were sharp and dense, woven into a cage that refused to give way. Ollie stepped forward, gripped a thick, woody branch, and pulled with all his strength. The vine snapped, but the thorns raked against his paws. He did not stop. He gripped another, twisting it until the wood cracked. Bella moved to the base of the wall, using her front paws to shovel the loose, damp dirt away from the roots. She worked with rhythmic intensity, clearing a narrow tunnel beneath the tangled mess. The ground shook as they exerted constant pressure, snapping the thorns one by one. The wall finally gave way, collapsing into the leaf litter. The ducklings scrambled out, waddling quickly toward the safety of the river. Ollie and Bella stood back, breathing heavily, their paws marked by the sharp struggle. The peeping faded as the ducklings reached the water, leaving the woods silent once more. They turned toward the ridge, their task complete, and resumed their race toward the massive oak tree. The massive oak stood on the ridge, its roots twisting deep into the dark soil. Ollie and Bella reached the trunk and immediately began to dig. They clawed at the packed earth, throwing dirt behind them in a steady, frantic rhythm. Their paws struck something hard, a dull wooden thud that echoed against the silence of the woods. They cleared the remaining soil, revealing a small, iron-bound chest. Ollie grabbed the lid, his muscles tensing as he pried it upward. The hinges groaned, giving way with a sharp snap. They leaned in, expecting the glint of gold or the weight of jewels. Instead, the chest was filled with hundreds of small, dry flower seeds. They spilled into their palms, a light, earthy heap that felt entirely ordinary. Bella reached into the bottom, pulling out a folded slip of parchment. Ollie took it, his eyes scanning the ink. He read the words aloud. "The greatest treasure is sharing kindness and helping nature grow." The silence of the forest seemed to deepen around them. The anticipation of wealth dissolved, replaced by a sudden, heavy stillness. They looked at the seeds, then at each other. The goal they had raced toward had vanished, replaced by a realization that left them motionless on the dirt. The treasure was not something to be taken, but something to be planted. Ollie and Bella knelt where the bank met the water, pressing the seeds into the soft, yielding earth. They worked in silence, tucking the potential for life into every inch of the exposed mud. Days turned into weeks, the sun warmed the soil, and the rain fed the roots. One morning, the first green shoots broke the surface, thin and fragile against the dark silt. They grew, stretching upward, unfurling vibrant petals that caught the morning light. The riverbank transformed. Where there had been only grey mud and reeds, a riot of color now swayed in the wind. Butterflies arrived, landing on the stems, while birds circled, their songs marking the return of life to the water. The forest creatures gathered, drawn by the scent of the blossoms. Ollie sat on the edge of the bank, his gaze following a butterfly as it darted between the flowers. He nudged a final seed into a patch of bare soil near his feet. He watched the colors ripple under the breeze, the garden pulsing with activity. There was no gold, no hoard to guard, only the steady, thriving growth of a world they had helped restore. He leaned back, the weight of the work behind him, and looked at the blooming life that had turned a barren patch into a sanctuary.